Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to today's TSF1 Greece podcast after the summer break. Today, we continue with the second half of the season with the Dutch Grand Prix. Amongst me today, I do have my good friends and co-hosts Panos and Dimitris. Hello, guys.
Hello, Alex.
So, it was an interesting race to say the least, a good comeback I would say. So Pano, will you do us the honors and begin with the free practice and the quali?
For sure, absolutely. So free practice 1, Friday morning, we have Max Verstappen on first place, second Fernando Alonso and third Lewis Hamilton. We move on with free practice 2, where Lando Norris took first place, Max Verstappen took second, and Alexander Albon took third. Moving on to Saturday, rainy Saturday, we had Max Verstappen in first place, George Russell in second, and Sergio Perez in third. We move on to qualifying. We had a rainy Q1. We had out of Q2 in 16th Zhou Guanyu, 17th Esteban Ocon, 18th Kevin Magnussen, 19th Valtteri Bottas, and 20th Liam Lawson, who got in place for Daniel Ricciardo, who suffered in a Friday crash, broken his wrist. So we move on in Q2. Out of Q3, we have in 11th Lance Stroll, 12th Pierre Gasly, 13th Lewis Hamilton, the GOAT, 14th Yuki Tsunoda, and 15th Nico Hülkenberg. We move on to Q3, a dry Q3 to be honest. We have the poleman as always, Max Verstappen, second Lando Norris, third George Russell, fourth Alexander Albon, fifth Fernando Alonso, sixth Carlos Sainz, seventh the man who can drive the Red Bull, Sergio Perez, eighth Oscar Piastri, ninth the man who can't find any luck with Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, and 10th Logan Sargent, who is the first American driver ever to be in a Q3 qualifying session.
Great.
That's good.
So I guess more or less things went a bit like it was expected, to say the least.
Yes, Max Verstappen in first place, Ferrari binned it.
The rest is indifferent. Basically, we have got Super Max, who actually, I don't know, I saw it on the internet, not sure if it's true, but apparently even the train from Amsterdam to Zandvoort was renamed Max Express for the days of the Grand Prix. Yeah, if it goes like Max, it for sure was a pretty fast train ride to the track. So, anyway, let's go into the details and the nitty-gritty of Sunday. It was, I would say, an absolutely electric atmosphere, but I think a pretty wet and rainy atmosphere would be a better way to put it, right, Panos?
You're spot on, Alex. With over 300,000 fans, mostly done in orange, and the skies threatening rain, the tension was palpable. And let's not forget Liam Lawson's debut, replacing the injured Ricciardo in the AlphaTauri.
Right from the start, Verstappen showcased his dominance, shooting ahead with Norris and Alonso in pursuit. But the rain, it added such an unpredictable element, especially as it began pounding down on the main street.
Yes, and the strategies that all went right in the bin. So, Perez, Leclerc and Gasly were among the first to pit for the intermediate tires, and by the fifth lap the top 8 had switched to intermediates, with Perez, who pitted early, reaping the benefits of that choice.
But Verstappen wasn't to be outdone. He was back leading by lap 13, with Alonso and Gasly tailing. Perez, though, seemed a bit lost, questioning his team about Max undercut.
The drama, although was non-stop, Sargent crash brought out the safety car, and by the lap 21, Verstappen was leading again, with Perez and Alonso hot on his heels. The rain, though, was about to play its part again.
So I think it's interesting to say that, as Panos said, how do you name Perez? The Red Bull that can go fast, that can't go fast.
The man who can't drive the Red Bull.
The man who can't drive the Red Bull is complaining. Okay, so between lap 21 and 57, so about 30 laps, it was mostly just battles, nothing really important. But by lap 57,
coming inside and putting the car on the DNF.
I'm so done with Ferrari and with that circus that I'm not even going to mention it from now on. So yeah, that's that. Okay, maybe I was a bit aggressive with the scripting today. Next time I will be a bit more informative, let's say. So, by lap 57, the rain was back. Verstappen, however, showcased his brilliance, maintaining a significant lead even after a late pit stop. He was a massive 20 seconds ahead of Perez. No surprise there, right, Panos?
Mm-hmm. The climax was nail-biting. Perez spun out, Alonso moved to second and Zhou crashed. But in the end, Verstappen was the star, leading dominantly once again for this season.
And let's not forget Verstappen's recent form. He's now won 8 consecutive races in the 2023 Formula World Championship, and he's on the brink of matching Vettel's record from 2013.
Yeah, actually he's now on 9, I think, and with Vettel's blessing he might just break it. I mean, it was a great race, and okay, if you're a Verstappen fan, I think this season is like, I don't know, a dream come true. It's definitely for him and for Red Bull. And I have to say that Alonso and Gasly, after Sergio Perez took that 5-second penalty at the end, I think it was a pretty amazing outing once again for the Aston Martin as well as for the Alpine team. Mm-hmm. And I think it's races like this that remind us why we love F1. It's the strategy that for some teams works, for others, well, it doesn't. It's the unpredictability and the sheer skill of the drivers. And let's see what happens in the next race. So, just a takeaway. What was maybe your highlight, if you had one, from the race? And what, do you like actually races like this in the rain?
I think the unpredictability of the weather was my highlight.
It's great when it comes and when it goes, and then it comes again, because it completely reshuffles everything. Unless you're Red Bull, then you just win.
Yes, it shows you how prepared some teams are or aren't. In the case of Ferrari, once again, on lap 1, Leclerc was waiting for the inters to come. Yes, I think after the break we saw pretty much the same. Drivers who were not that good showed that
continue to be not that great.
Yes, I'm talking about Perez, I'm talking about Leclerc making a mistake in qualifying. Sainz was nowhere to be found. Mercedes, same. McLaren was okay. Alex Albon was the star of the day for me, of the weekend, to be honest.
I mean, he did his absolute best.
Yes, we saw that from the car while Sargent got in Q3 with Williams.
Gasly also did great.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, not impressed. It was more like a meh.
Dimitri?
Yes, I agree with you, Panos.
You were sleeping during the race, weren't you?
Again, yes.
I mean, he's just amazing. I think he just lives for the highlights. I think he just watches Formula One from the Drive to Survive from Netflix. From now on, I don't know if he continues to watch. I think definitely the big loser of the weekend was Daniel Ricciardo, because I guess he really wanted to race. Another great driver who had a good weekend, I think, was definitely Fernando Alonso, and well, as said, Pierre Gasly was also one of the let's say from the positive outcomes. Can I also just I think Dimitris doesn't have a highlight, do you?
Yes, the sleep he took while watching the race.
Great. So my highlight was, what on earth was Ferrari doing? Like,
No.
have the tires ready.
We don't have to discuss this.
Why are you doing this? Shaking the hand with 3 fingers. Okay,
Good pitch.
so
Ferrari, we don't do that here. It's okay.
Okay, so this weekend we do have the next race right after Zandvoort. We go to the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. That's the best I can do in Italian.
We will be in it again.
Well, it will be an all Ferrari atmosphere, at least outside the track and the race. But I guess when you're Ferrari, you can just do that. Dimitri, enjoy your silver star not shining this weekend. Maybe it does in Italy. Maybe just it's a bit of like a summer break. It needs to go to Italy, like most Germans do, and then they feel great again. And well, I think that's pretty much all of it. I think I scripted it maybe a bit too much back, so on the next podcast I will have a more descriptive part of the race. Thank you very much, both of you, for being with us. Thank you, all listeners, for being here amongst us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week for the Monza race. From our team, have a great week and see you then. Bye.